Crafting connections, building a global community of makers. I have a very special guest for you this evening. We're going to move into the creative space. So let's go. Well, hello there, friends. Welcome to the 30. I am your host, Patrick. I want to thank you for being here. This is episode 217. 217. Wow, we are moving. Well, today we're going to be talking. I'm going to try to channel my inner creative side, the little bit that I may have. But if I don't have it, I surely know that my guest has not only the creative side, the technical side, the entrepreneurial side, and I'm going to pick her brain so that you will get the information that you need. You may not think that you need it, but trust me, she comes with years of information, years of experience. She's building a global community, and she's going to tell us all about what she's been up to. And she's been doing a lot, folks. So I want to thank you for being here. If this is your first time watching the 30, certainly thank you. We do this each week. As I said, we're up to episode 217. You can catch us each week either on our YouTube channel, which is at the 30 with Patrick, or you can catch us on my personal LinkedIn channel. So thank you so very much. I want to thank. Last week we had a great show. You want to go back and check that out. We're talking about communities. And we're going to extend that discussion about communities. This time we're going to move forward and talk more about our global community as it relates to the handcrafting, those that are in the creative space that build things. So I'm going to introduce my guest to you, and I'm going to ask her to come off mute so that she has an opportunity to speak with you. None other than the great Zakia. How are you, my friend?
Hello, Patrick. Thank you so much for having me.
The pleasure's all mine. So let's tell our viewers who you are and what you do, what you represent. I know I put your brief bio in our description, but tell our viewers, who is Zakia and what do you do and all those good things?
That's a big question because, like you said, there's been so many years of it. So I am Zakia Ringgold. I am as a serial entrepreneur. I see opportunity in so many places, and I try and take advantage of those places. I'm a mama of two. Both of my girls have grown up right next to me on live streaming. I see some comments in the chat now where people are talking about Paige is no longer a little girl. And all of that. So I am a soap maker. I am a published author. I help small businesses in the city of Philadelphia to grow their business online, leveraging social media and online stores. And my most recent project is Handcrafted Live, which is a global virtual summit for handcrafted makers. And my light just went out on the side, so we're going to have a little bit of darkness, but hopefully that doesn't take too much away from the message.
You're all good to go. We're all good to go. So let's talk about, you said that you are a soap maker. Let's talk about handcrafted makers. Yes. What is a handcrafted maker? Because I saw that in your bio, and I was like, I have to ask her that.
So generally for me, a handcrafted maker is anybody who makes products by hand, When you make products by hand that other people can use, you are a handcrafted, typically an artisan, because you're putting some type of you in the product that you're making. It's not just about mixing products, and it's not just about soap. It can be soap, cosmetics, tumblers, t-shirts. We were born to be creative, and I'm specifically going after those folks who are handcrafted, where they're making a product that they're typically selling at craft shows and vending shows, and they're trying to figure out how to grow that online.
Fantastic. I wish I was more creative in terms of making stuff, but I am not. So that's why I do this. That's why we develop people. So how long have you been doing this? I saw your studio. We're
Yeah.
going to talk about that shortly because I saw it. But how long have you been in this creative mode of making things?
Interestingly, I never thought that I was creative. I had a very narrow definition of creativity. I thought being creative meant that you knew how to draw. However, I got started with soap making in 2015. That was a year after my daughter was born. And there was something very peaceful and zen-like when it came to mixing the ingredients, creating your own fragrances or scents that would come out of it, the colors, the shapes, the sizes that you could make. And that was when I kind of got hooked and brought an audience along with me as I learned the craft.
Now, what's the difference between someone going to the store and buying a bar of soap
Yeah.
or making it you or buying it from you that it is made by hand? What's the major difference?
Primarily the ingredients that we use. When you are buying a handcrafted bar of soap, a natural bar of soap, we are typically using vegetable oils and butters. Whereas when you're going to a store, that typically has a chemical process. There's a lot of surfactants in there where it's typically going to be very drying to the skin or harmful to what any existing skin conditions that you have. So typically when we're making it by hand, we are carefully selecting the ingredients, primarily olive oil, coconut oil, things that you can spell, right? And if you ever look at the bars of soap that are in the aisles, there's one particular one that most people love, but it's not even a true bar of soap. It's actually listed as a beauty bar. They can't legally call it a soap. And so the primary difference between what you buy in the store is they have extracted the glycerin out of it so
Hmm.
that it is typically going to be a little more drying, which means you're going to need the lotions, the potions, and the shower gels to replenish that moisture. With natural soap, glycerin is a natural byproduct in there. So it's going to be bringing more of that moisture to your skin.
Wow. I had no idea. But so thank you for that education. I
For
appreciate
sure.
that. And I hope that my dear wife is watching. So now we can actually go on your website and purchase your products.
Yes,
I love that.
absolutely.
Now, so with that, I know you have. Let's talk about this building that you have because I saw it on a video, and I was like, "Holy macro! She has a whole building."
Yes. So at the start of the pandemic, I had been building my soap business for about 5 years when the pandemic hit. And when the pandemic hit, I did the pivot into more of the tech side of producing the virtual conferences. And my dining room had completely taken over the entire house. On one side, I had the soap that I was making, the other side, I had a computer with the screen behind me and all of that. And so I decided that with the money that I was making from producing those conferences, I was going to build myself a studio where it would no longer take over the space in my house. And so it's 2 floors. The first floor is to manufacturing all of the soap and skincare products. And the second floor is typically for producing conferences. So there's an office upstairs. Right now, we're in my dining room, back where we all started, which is actually pretty interesting. But that's what the soap studio was all about. It was a space for me to be able to make my products in peace.
So you are all in,
Oh, yeah.
all the way in.
100%. And the reason for that was I figured if I put my stake in the ground, in terms of building a building, and it's pretty much maybe about 300 square feet less than the size of my actual house. So it's almost the same size as my neighbor's house
Wow.
in
That,
my backyard. And
that's amazing.
yes. And I said that if I built this building, there was no turning back. It was kind of like I was burning the bridge to go
Yeah.
back into corporate America. It was my stake in the ground of this is what we're doing.
Wow. That
Yeah.
is fantastic. Let's see. Uh, Erica says, I love that Zakia showed us her building being built in. Absolutely. I was impressed.
Yeah.
Um, L. Smith says, congratulations on scaling up your business.
Thank you, Elle.
That's great. So now that you've gone all in, I know what you have actually done is start to build your community of handcrafted makers. Let's talk about that. And I know that your bio says that you want to go global, build a global community. Let's
Yeah.
talk about the importance of a community and why do you want to build such a large community?
I think it has to do with my journey. My community has, they were my first customers. They were my first cheerleaders. When I would live stream the hobby that I had, they were the ones who said, hey, can you sell it? Or hey, can you teach us? And it was the lessons that I learned along the way that allowed me to be able to scale my business. And what I find in particularly the handcrafted industry, we are typically very, very small. We stay very local, and the world is so big. And then there's always this competition thing that people are worried about. But when you recognize that there are 8 billion people on the planet and really letting that number sink in, if I can get 1% of that, that means there's still 7 point something billion for you to be able to sell to. So oftentimes in the crafting community and in the soap industry particularly, it's a very lonely space.
Hmm,
And I think that's true in entrepreneurship overall.
absolutely.
So the purpose of the community is, number one, we get our ingredients from all over the world. There's different techniques from all over the world. So if we can have this space, that's what the Lather Lounge is about. That's what Handcrafted Live is about. If we can have this safe space to come and share learnings, share best practices, grow like collectively, not just as an individual of how can I get, but we all grow together. What's that? The rising tide lifts all ships.
Hmm.
And so I think I was very, very successful early on because I embraced doing it differently. And what that was I live streamed the entire time. I self published, I created courses, all those things. So if I can now share that with the same community who are actually struggling right now, the handcrafted community, and so many are currently struggling because we are very late to embracing technology, which is a huge component of it. And another part of that is the rising costs of the supply chain. Our ingredients that once used to cost, let's say $5, that same ingredient now costs $20.
Hmm.
So unless you are able to buy at scale, so maybe we can have a group buy program where we're buying a heck of a lot more than 5 pounds of coconut oil, and that lowers everyone's cost of goods sold. So it's a vision of actually being bigger than just ourselves and making sure that everybody grows at the same time or on their own trajectory. Because some people don't want to do it as a business, it's a hobby,
Sure.
but they don't know, is this the right ingredient that I should use? Or why did my soap do a particular thing? Or why isn't my lotion coming together? You can harness that by having a community that can share their experiences and kind of have a mentor. Because when we soap makers actually get together, we talk about soap for about 48 to 72 hours nonstop, if
Wow.
given the chance. In our
Wow.
family, they kind of give us the glazed over look after about 5 minutes. Like, I get it. Okay, just give me the bar.
Wow. So your soap making is to mind leadership because I can talk about leadership in teams all day
All
long,
day. All day. Yep.
right? That's good. Let's see. Erica says here, loves the kids episode where she took us to Egypt to purchase essential oils. Talk about that. I didn't see that one.
Yeah, so we are already global. My soap products have shipped to 17 countries and
Very
all
nice.
over the United States from my dining room. That was where that happened. But I've also had the opportunity to travel to Egypt, to travel to Ghana, to travel to China. And it was all around the products that I was making because I want to know the source, not just, oh, this is why you should use it, but actually meet the people that grow it and how they've used it historically. Because just because we read it in a textbook, it's very different. I had a much better appreciation for the ingredients. Before, I would have like this much left in the container, and I would be like, now I scrape that container out because I see what it takes for them to be able to make those products. So
Mm.
we went to Egypt. I got a chance to actually see all how the essential oils were being made. I went to Ghana and I saw how the women actually make the shea butter, the cocoa butter, the
Wow.
entire process. I actually made it. It's backbreaking work, I will tell you that. And so it's just really opened my eyes to, it's allowed me to travel because I've spoken at conferences, I've taught everywhere. And now I see, or I think something I learned early on was that technology is the great equalizer, right?
Hmm.
There is no middleman. You can go directly to the consumer with what it is that you have. But if you are afraid of embracing technology, you lose that opportunity to meet people, to learn, and to grow.
Absolutely. Good, good, good. Yeah, I love it where you want to help others within the community, build a community of people, because once you do it together, you're a group of like-minded people. And that's one outcome because you're talking the same
Language.
language, you're doing the same things, and now you introduce technology into it with your knowledge. They can gain from you and you gain from them. And that's the benefit of a community.
Yeah. And it's not just my knowledge. That's the amazing part. I have 22 speakers, right, that
Wow.
are coming to the conference. And these are people that I've learned from and gleaned from in my journey. So I'm not teaching soap making. I have two master soap makers that are teaching the different techniques. We're also doing hydrosols because essential oils are very expensive. And so hydrosols are a water-based version, and that's a very bad description for it, but it's the easiest way of the plant material. So the same lavender essential oil, you can make a lavender hydrosol that can be used in your products that makes them more effective. And then on the tech side, we have all the AI, how to get your books published and visible in libraries. We have someone from Literacy Nation because all of my books are in the World Cat now. And so that's something that helps makers to see themselves more than just the products that they make.
That's fantastic. Let me see here. L. Smith is on fire.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
Olive oil.
oil prices are insane.
Yes.
So then now if you come together and you leverage your community, you can purchase it, right?
And lower our
And
costs.
lower the cost and it benefits everyone. That's the value of the community. So I can see where going as a global community benefits everyone.
Yes.
Great. Let's see. Erica says, I just learned something new. Hydrosol.
Yes.
I still have no idea of what it is. I'm going to have to Google that and find out. But thank you for that new word,
Yeah.
hydrosol.
Yeah.
So let's pivot. I know that you're doing something this weekend. I think it starts tomorrow. Let's
Yes.
talk about your live summit that you're doing.
Handcrafted Live. Handcrafted Live is coming up. It is 2 days, two tracks where we are focusing on product making as well as the business technology. So, yes, you can learn all of the product skills and all of that. However, we also have the business track. So, if you click on that schedule at the top there, yep, if you go right to that schedule, the first day, tomorrow we're actually going to have like an orientation for people to get familiar with the platform. So it's like an orientation guide because it's more than just coming to workshops, because networking is so important. So we'll have that, and then we'll have a collaboration and networking hour in the next hour. So from 5 to 6 is kind of learning the platform, building your profile. And then on Saturday morning, we kickstart with our summit kickoff. And we have an amazing speaker from Indie Business Network who will be our keynote. And if you're listening on the 30, that is because you just got that here first. That's the last announcement that we have. But then we have the 2 tracks that you can see simultaneously. The 1 track is on the creation corner, and that's all the products. For instance, Emily Bonifay, she's actually in the Philippines, and she'll be teaching us how to use raw materials. So the things that we typically waste and take for granted, how we can use that to make our products. And then you'll see that people have a choice every day to go with either the product or the business side to move them further. So we also have Laureen teaching on maximizing revenue. We also have Tim Daniel, who is a SCORE mentor, and he's teaching on how to go from a hobby to a business owner. Then we have Vanessa teaching on essential oils and the proper use for them. There's a lot of people who we call them weekend warriors. They see a TikTok and they say, oh, I'm going to make it. But you have to be careful with the various ingredients, because they do have standards that you can use. Otherwise, you can really hurt somebody's skin. So she'll be teaching on that. Celeste will be teaching on how to price to actually be profitable. We have a lotion class with Connie. And then Chris King is going to be teaching on leveraging Amazon fulfillment so you can scale your business faster without having to have a storefront. And then that's where Tina, on the other side there, Tina and her sister, Marianne, are going to be teaching on the power of hydrosols. And then I don't know if you know Tanya Smith. She'll be teaching.
I've seen her. She has some great content.
Oh, yeah. Well, one thing that a lot of people struggle with is the confidence to go live. The confidence, like a lot of people would freak out that their light has gone off. It's like the show is over. But she's going to be talking about going from their comfort zone to on-camera confidence with live streaming.
That's great.
And then on the second day, we have our Let's Get Social. That's actually a round table with Krisha. And then we also, if you scroll over that no stage, yeah, that one there, that's how to get your self-published book library ready. What do you need to do in order for them to host your books in their library? If we keep on going down, and I won't go over all of them because I want people to go to the site and you can see it. But there is plenty of content depending on if you want to make a product, or if you already know how to make the product, how can you scale it? How can you leverage technology so that you do not get left behind? We have some conversations on AI, using the Amazon influencer program, the tech that you need to go live, and then we also have a grand finale.
Hey, Monty.
Oh yeah, Monty will be there on the tech that you need to go live. And then a few people will be talking about leveraging AI too.
Okay. Fantastic. So, folks, you need to go out and register. I think I have that already in the description. So make sure that you click on that and register. When is the cutoff time, or is there a cutoff time for registration?
There is no cutoff time. However, there is an all access pass that will allow you to access the recording for up to 6 months. And then there's a live access pass. You want to be there live. This isn't information that you're going to be able to find on YouTube, but it's the beauty in those connections. When you sit down in those virtual networking rooms and you have a conversation about something that's been very challenging for you as either a hobbyist or a business owner, this is where you have that opportunity, and that's live. So we'll have the registration open throughout the weekend, but you want to get in there as soon as we get started.
Yeah, good. Make sure that you go out and register. What's the investment?
So we have the live only ticket for as low as $49, and then the all access pass is $200.
Awesome. Now, folks, note that we said investment.
Yes.
because we don't say price and cost, right? It's about the investment because you are investing in yourself. When you talk about return on investment, when you invest in something, you tend to go after it more.
Yep. You got to have
So
skin in the game.
skin in the game, right? Because if you pay a price, right? If you say, okay, what's the cost? What's the price? You're really not thinking about what returns are you going to get out of it. So you want to talk about, okay, I'm investing something in myself and knowing that I'm going to get something out of it that will help me to be a better person, help my business to become a better entrepreneur, but you'll get something out of it that will improve going forward.
For sure.
Anything else about the conference? I know it's going to be exciting. So, is there anything else,
Yeah.
Zakia? How long did it take you to plan this?
Oh, it's always been there.
Okay.
This is the conference that I wish I would have had as a beginning soap maker.
Mm,
This is the conference that I wish, because you have to pull so many pieces together when you're trying to figure it out. And well, the time it took to pull it together, finding my speakers was easy.
okay.
These are people that I've interacted with. I know their value. I've invested in a lot of their trainings and I've gotten value from that. And I attribute a lot of my success to actually learning from them. So that part was the easy part. The hardest part for me has been the marketing.
Mm.
The
And why is
hardest
that?
part, um, having 15 irons going at one time and realizing that delegation is truly something that you need to do.
Yeah,
It's not that I'm not good at marketing, it's just that I had other projects that were taking precedent. And
absolutely.
so I think um, this will definitely be an amazing case study for years to come when we get to Handcrafted Live 2.0, 3.0, 4.0. But the time to plan it didn't take much time at all. I leveraged my instructional design background to say, okay, what does a curriculum need to look like for someone who is trying to start or grow a handmade business? And I just built it out.
So, as we end, if someone is on the fence, whether they should attend or not attend, what would you tell them? Because we always talk about the great radio station WIIFM. What's in it for me? What would you tell them if they say, what is in it for me that I need to attend?
I would say look at all the time that you have spent trying to research and figure it out on your own. The fact that you get 24 people who have walked the same exact path and found the success that you need, shortcuts. And if you value your time, Handcrafted Live is the place that you want to be because you won't be trying to figure it out in isolation by yourself.
Hmm,
Handcrafted Live has exactly what you need in order for you to master making your products and actually make the pivot to grow your business sustainably online.
fantastic. Great. Any last words?
I can't wait to see you online or on another live stream. Be sure to register. Can I give them the link or I'm not allowed to say it?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Be
Sure.
sure to register at 2024.handcraftedlive.com. Myself, all of the speakers, there's a global audience of people that will be joining us. So you don't want to say, man, I wish I would have. Come on out and thank you for joining us. And Patrick, thank you for having me on the 30.
No,
Really.
yeah, thank you for being here because I learned a couple of things that yeah, with a hydrosol, I learned the difference between
Commercial soap and
a commercial
handmade
soap and
soap.
a handmade soap. I learned that. I think I'm going to go that route. So yeah, so I've learned quite a bit. I've learned about your building in terms of your upstairs and downstairs, and that you're in it. You're 100% invested in your business. So this has been great, and I hope that our audience that they go to register and that they can take away something of value that will help them in their business, but also in their lives. Claudia says, thank you for sharing your gift with others to build a community. Fantastic. L. Smith again says, have a great evening. Thank you. So fantastic, Zakia. My prayer is that this weekend will be fantastic, that people would be blessed by your gift, because God has given you a gift to bless others, and that they'll be blessed as a result of what you're doing.
Absolutely. Thank
All
you
right.
very much.
So let me see. Claudia said the website for ordering.
For ordering my soap is naturalsoapbyzakia.com.
Awesome. All right. Thank you again, Zakia. I appreciate it, and I can't wait to hear how this weekend's summit went.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So we've been talking to Zakia, and she is putting on this conference. I'm excited for her. Make sure that you go out, and if you have not signed up, I'm going to put it back here for you. It is look at the schedule, and let me see if I can get back to it. Handcrafted Live. Make sure that you go to the website. Make sure that you register. Click the register button. And I know that you will be blessed as a result of what she's doing. So don't hesitate. Don't stand on the sideline. Don't be like, I shoulda, coulda, would have. Get involved. Get the information that will help you to grow you and your business. So that's fantastic. Just in terms of a wrap up, last week we talked about the Connect community. I'm going to put this up here. If you are a leader, an emerging leader, entrepreneur, small business owner, I'm inviting you to join our Connect community. You can see our site there. Make sure that you go to it. If you sign up now for a small window, you will get the founders special. So make sure that you go and find it. I'll also put that in our description, but it is right here. Sign up if you are a leader, an emerging leader, whether you're seasoned or brand new. If you're a small business owner, entrepreneur, this is your opportunity to join our community. And when you go to that site, you will see everything that is involved. All right. So make sure that you do that. And if you have any information, if you have any questions about it, you can reach me, info@jackmangroupllc.com. That's info@jackmangroupllc.com. So, folks, that is it for me. Another episode of the 30. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a member of this growing channel. I look forward to having you here next week. May God continue to bless you and your family. Be safe, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.